Today we will be discussing Amazon's 3 shipment options, specifically for SPD shipments or small parcel deliveries. Within the inbound settings, you can select Amazon Optimized Shipment Splits. This will allow Amazon to ship your items to 5 or more distribution centers. Partial shipment splits, which allows you to supposedly select which side of the country you want to ship within, and it will be 3 or more shipment splits. Or minimal, where again you get to select which side of the country you want to ship to, but it will incur significantly higher placement fees, and it'll be 1 or more shipment. How do we know which one's going to be the best? Essentially, what we've done is taken 1.5 months of data. This is stuff that we've recorded back in the beginning of April through May, so it's a little bit dated, but it should give you a perspective on which option's best. Of course, this will be somewhat dependent on how much you can ship. But first off, let's take a look at how you would calculate it. Within your shipment summaries, you can take a look at what your total Amazon partner carry cost is. So for this shipment, it is $289.34. And because we did Amazon optimized for this shipment, the total placement services were only $0. A quick way to calculate this is just going to be to summate all of the weight of all the boxes here, which for us came to 591 pounds, and then taking the Amazon partner carrier cost, which in this case would have been $289 divided by the 591, so we finished out on this shipment around 49 cents. If we would have had the inbound placement service fees, we would have also included that, but again, this shipment here was the optimized shipments. So taking a look, we essentially broke down our shipments in 3 types of views. So we wanted to clarify the difference between standard and oversized shipments. And the reason was, when this first started, I wasn't sure if it may make more sense to do like minimal shipments for the oversized, pay a little bit extra in the cost, but be able to keep the items close from their shipping point. But we'll dive into that a little bit further. So starting off with the standard, you can take a look at how much we spent on the different shipments. So for this one, for the standard shipments, we spent almost $5,000. Taking a look at the breakdown for the units, of course, minimal, we did the least amount, but that's because early on, we could tell it was the most expensive. We are trying to look primarily at a per pound basis because that is what we use within Seller Amp for our team. So for the standard shipments, we found that 48 cents was our average for standard Amazon optimized, and it increased for semi-optimized and minimal. If you're doing small shipments yourself, minimal may be the best use because you will have to do a lot of small boxes throughout the country if you would pick an optimized approach. It's also, you have to calculate your time for separating all these shipments. Moving on to looking at how oversized compared. Again, the optimized was cheaper. We do have a little bit more data supporting this, but that's because the oversized minimal was 36 cents more per pound in the little bit of testing that we did. Finally, a really key note that I want to call out is going to be West Coast versus Midwest. This could also be compared for East Coast. So, of course, the population density is larger on the east side of the United States. So shipments do come to the east side quite often. That last shipment that we calculated at 49 cents per pound on the previous tab was coming from the Midwest all the way down to Tampa. So that's one of the reasons we were up to 49 cents per pound. But looking further, we save almost 23 cents per pound coming out of the Midwest versus our West Coast prep center for standard items within Amazon Optimized. And then when we were looking at semi-optimized, we were up to 45 cents difference per pound. So based off of this, especially if you're looking into wholesale models or high volume units, you may want to consider a Midwest prep center. And when your volume allows it, switching to Amazon Optimized definitely seems to be a cost-saving approach when elected. Again, all this data is only for SPD. We are very conscious of our cash flow and turn rate, so we did not want to bother ourselves with longer check-in times associated with LTO. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments. Thank you.